All right, everyone, you may recall, the media doesn't want to talk about it too much. The Department of Justice has a watchdog looking into the FBI's actions during the Clinton email investigation. They're like, hey, it looks like some fishy shit went on, and we're going to look into it, so we can get closure on this. And when it began, people are like, well, Trump is weaponizing the DOJ against his political opponents. The people that, they claimed are unbiased and not political at all, so that claim was always a little bit suspect. And it was very funny, but Horowitz, says, well, okay, I'll look into it. Basically, Trump demands an investigation. He's like, I'm going to do my job while looking totally partisan, because it is his job to oversee the DOJ. It's the DOJ's job to look into potential wrongdoing by the fucking former head of the FBI. Apparently, according to the initial draft of the final report, that I believe has not yet fully been released but will, apparently, according to multiple sources, the initial report is that Comey was insubordinate, defied his job multiple times, that Loretta Lynch was problematic. If this actually is the case, and they're going to call Comey directly insubordinate, it sets the stage for probably an expansive congressional investigation. You can expect Comey to repeatedly have to give testimony. Meanwhile, this ties into the last story, which in turn relates to Sean Hannity trolling the entire Democratic movement. It ties into McCabe, because McCabe, who of course was fired, basically one day out from his pension, which is hilarious. It's like Jeff Sessions says, okay, no pension for you, no cushy retirement plan. You'll have to do what other political hacks do and give 10,000 a plate speeches or something. You'll actually have to work 2 days out of the year to make a living. It's gonna be terrible for you. Jesus, you won't be able to just sit around all day. McCabe wants immunity in order to testify on the Clinton email server. That is significant. And he says his lawyers come out and tell Congress, yeah, he'll testify if given immunity. Otherwise, he's just going to have to plead the fifth. So he's afraid of incriminating himself. When you plead the fifth, that's basically what it means. You can plead the fifth in order to not self-incriminate. There's no other circumstance in which you can reasonably use it. Either that or you're falling on your sword for someone else, which is probably even more likely, basically for Clinton. But that's going to just spur more investigation. They're between a cock and a hard place on this one. And if Comey is found to have been insubordinate at the time and not have to have done his job, that's significant too, because that basically reopens the whole fucking investigation. They'll have to come out and then basically do a do-over. And in retrospect, it is feasibly possible, I don't expect this to happen. Legally speaking, though, it is feasibly possible Hillary Clinton could actually get in legal trouble for it. Because the thing is, she definitely did break the law. Her private storage server was illegal. The way in which it was disposed of obstructed justice and tampered with evidence. It was all illegal. The thing is, the FBI essentially said that it was illegal. Comey comes out and says, yeah, she knew it was wrong, shouldn't have done it, it was improper handling of classified intel, yeah, it was sent and received, blah, blah, blah. Basically, she broke multiple laws, she committed multiple felonies, but, we can't charge her. We're not going to recommend prosecution. From Loretta Lynch, no less. We're not going to recommend prosecution because we can't find that there was any malevolence behind it. She didn't mean to break the law. She's just fucking, ignorant. So in other words, America had a Secretary of State who didn't know that it was illegal to send and receive classified intel that was synchronized to Anthony Weiner's laptop, no less, on multiple occasions over this course of many, many moons. We had a Secretary of State that didn't know that would be problematic. Okay, that makes me feel really, it makes me sleep well at night knowing that it's possible for that kind of mix-up to happen. Sort of like when Obama said the first time he knew about the NSA's expansive data program, oh yeah, I saw it on CNN and I spilled my drink in shock. I didn't know that this was going on, but I'll get to the bottom of it. I'm not going to do anything about it. Yeah, that's basically what happened. It seems like an awful lot of people during the second Obama term were just totally ignorant of their job. I don't see anything. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just totally dumb. Just totally ignorant. Obama doesn't know anything that's going on when it's inconvenient to him. Clinton, no, I don't know. I don't know, the staff set up the server. I didn't know it was against the laws. I shouldn't have done it, but, setting up a server in my bathroom on an unsecure connection, synchronizing it to multiple unsecured laptops that, then the FBI basically loses, I believe. It was weird. I shouldn't have done it. I'm sorry. It's all in the past, though. I didn't accidentally disclose any of this data to foreign governments in exchange for large amounts of slush fund campaign donations. Trust me, that never happened. It's not like it happened in the 90s, basically. But it did. The Clintons are a slimy mafioso family, and the DOJ report appears to confirm that, and to confirm that Comey didn't do his job. Now, it was clear that Comey wasn't doing his job, but it was like a told-you-so moment when he had to come out and say, basically, we're not recommending charges. It's like, okay, Clinton broke the law, but we're not going to charge her. We don't want her charged because, we can't prove any malevolent intent. We can't prove intent. We can't prove criminal intent. Not that that's actually a marker that matters for anyone else. It's like that Vermonter there with the nuclear sub who Trump finally pardoned so that he could clear his name. He didn't have any intent. He just took a fucking picture of the inside of a nuclear sub. He didn't know it was illegal. He didn't know he was breaching it. He gets thrown in jail for years for it. The Clinton defense didn't work. His lawyers came forth and said, hey, his name should be cleared because, Hillary Clinton wasn't charged with anything. And then the judge shoots it down, which is ridiculous. It just shows that there's a double standard. It's the law applies to thee but not to me situation with these fucking politicians. And that's the way it always will be. There will always be such corruption. This, by the way, even if Trump did something wrong, he's not going to get charged for it. He's not going to get indicted even if he did work with the Russians. No one's going to say jack shit. It's not going to happen. Not that I think that he actually colluded. I think Manafort was colluding with Tony Podesta to embezzle a lot of money, though. Yeah, he seems to have been guilty as sin. Unfortunately for the Democrats, one of the highest-ranking Democrats was involved in this, and I believe the Podesta's business was shuttered thereafter when that report came out, which is hilarious. It's all very funny, but yeah, the DOJ report apparently uses literally the term insubordinate. Well, that's pretty problematic when the dude from the FBI isn't following instructions. When the dude is supposed to be, he's supposed to recommend charges in such a situation, he's coming out on live national TV to tell people that the law was broken. The FBI is supposed to therefore recommend charges. It doesn't matter if you can reasonably prosecute it, you still should try. They didn't want to do that because there was an election going on. Hillary Clinton got away with it because the report concluded during the election itself. Very much close to the end of the election cycle, which was hilarious. Yeah, it did help her to lose, thank goodness, because it turns out, yeah, she obstructed justice. Sean Hannity got the whole left to admit that today. That's about all. Peace out.